Hey everybody, it is great to come on. I'm really excited to be able to share my story, break down these two awesome products here, and really just give you a review that will help you make the best decision for you. Whether you're already using the products or are thinking about doing that. So just to give you a quick background so you get a better idea of where I'm coming from. So I have my undergrad and my master's in health and fitness, and I have studied nutrition for about 20 years, and I get really into the studies and understanding why. I'm a big why guy. I like knowing why everything is the way it is and why this, So I fine-tooth and combed these ingredients to really understand them better, and to make sure it was something that I was going to put into my body and I would be okay introducing to my clients in my health program. So about 11 years ago, I started a fitness program and opened a fitness facility. And personally, I got really sick and I got very stressed out, and my gut health was just out of whack. And a lot of it was the stress and doctors giving me a bunch of antibiotics because of sinus infections and things like that. So I had to learn personally how to come back and heal my body through good quality healthy foods, natural supplements, and really just take my life back. And I did that, and here's a little bit of the example of the supplements that I've used, and I brought these out to show you some stuff in a second. But ultimately, one of the most interesting things when I was running my fitness facility was how many direct selling companies and affiliate marketing companies come knocking trying to get you interested in their product. And I had to create a vetting system. I had to create a qualification system for all of these companies because I've looked at so many. So the first one is, it always comes down to ingredients and products. I don't go any further with a company unless I totally am in alignment with the ingredients and products. Okay. Second is, what's the investment to get into the program? Like, what's the product price point? And that's a big piece, because not only for me, but for a lot of the people I work with, price is part of the puzzle. Okay, so and then I always like to look at the company story and their beliefs and the comp plan and things like that. So I've gone through so many companies and I've looked at all of them, and most of them don't make it past the first thing, which is ingredients and products. So when this came across my desk or my computer, I was extremely intrigued, because I've been looking for something like this for a very long time. So, like I said, I've used a lot of these supplements individually, but to see them all in one place is pretty cool. So let's break it down, just so I hope this will help you. So when this came across my desk, the first thing on it is the Whole Foods derived fruits and vegetables extract blend, and it looked great, and I was like, that's awesome. Now I also think it's important for me to share what I really look at. So when I look at this, ideally I would like it to be organic, and it's not a deal breaker for me, because a lot of people, specifically people I work with, they're not getting in enough fruits and vegetables anyways. No matter organic fruits and vegetables. So it's about meeting people where they're at. That's the number one thing that I do with all the people that I coach. And just so you know, anything that I say here is all informational purposes. I'm not saying any of this stuff can do anything. I'm saying that I'm really giving you my take on what these ingredients have done for me in my life, and just all the research that I've ever done. So this is clearly informational purposes, okay? So make sure you do your own research, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions as well. So basically the first, Whole Foods, love that. I think that's fantastic, because I think most people should be eating real whole foods. That's gotta be like the biggest thing that you do. That and sleep. But that's the coolest part about these both support both of those things, okay? The next thing is the Nature's Energy and Clarity blend. And I really like this. You know, when I look at guarana, for example, it's what I've supplemented with guarana personally, and it was really for the antioxidant benefit, to reduce fatigue and improve focus. When I look at the Bacopa, I've used that also, supplemented with that with antioxidants, and specifically for me, I have ADHD, so it's helped me with that as well. And then I just liked the natural green tea or green coffee bean extract and the yerba mate, because both of those I use personally for antioxidant content, as well as they're just my favorite forms of caffeine. Now, some people, especially some people that I work with and personally myself, don't do well with caffeine. So, that's something that I had to take into account when I used it, and I'm finding it's not causing me any problems, which is great. And I will say that, it's different for everybody. When I work with people, a lot of people come to me with a pretty extreme adrenal fatigue. So we have to talk about, making sure that things like this align with them and weigh the pros and cons, right? But the coolest part about this, and just why I'm bringing this up now, is when we look at the next piece of it, it's the adaptogenic super blend. And I am such a raving fan of adaptogens. And the things about adaptogens that I love is really, and to explain adaptogenic herbs in the best way possible. It's kind of like these herbs and these mushrooms in these particular blends. They basically take your cortisol hormone, right, your stress hormone, and they just turn it down a little bit. That's really the best way I explain it to people. Okay, so that's what I love about it, and it works synergistically with caffeine, so that I know. For me, like, I had an adrenal fatigue issue, and many of my clients do as well. So a lot of it was, if they are taking in caffeine, it's really important for them to be getting in adaptogenic herbs to support their adrenal glands. And that's really where I found this really beneficial, because I love these. So, like, here's an example of a product that I use personally before I ever came across this. So this was one of them that's helped me adaptogenically. Okay, and then I have others in here that are also great adaptogens as well. So that's a great part of this. And then the bioavailability booster blend, basically trace minerals. Okay, so I was taking a trace mineral supplement before I found this. And trace minerals, so many people are not getting the amount of minerals they need. Okay, that's just the bottom line. So the fact that this includes that, and it's really great because between that and the black pepper extract, they're going to help the bioavailability and the digestion and the breakdown and the assimilation into your body more. Okay, so you're getting a lot of B vitamins, a lot of A, C, D, E, just fantastic. Okay, so very well-rounded supplement that I was excited to give a try, and benefits I've found personally just way more focused. It's worked very well with my ADHD, and I'm more in tune with what I'm doing. It's made my wife happier, and it's 100% made her feel more clear and focused, and she says she can access her thoughts and ideas better throughout the day. And she doesn't dread Mondays as much. It's also a cool thing. So very cool supplement. I really dig it, and I'm just happy to have found it. Okay, so that's the first one. And then breaking down these two here. So when we look at this, one more thing about this. I also, one of my big things is I don't put things into my body that have gluten or sugar in them. So that made me happy that this was gluten and sugar free. So that was also huge, and a big part of why I decided to make sure that, I have to make sure that that's all clear before I try anything, pretty much. And then when we get into this one, so if we're looking at the Accelerate Restore, so when we look at the first one, the Humeric, it's basically, I used it in my early phases of my gut health issues for mineral deficiency, because I was pretty mineral deficient, and it also helped boost my immune system. So that's one thing that I loved about it. And then the charcoal is great because it binds with a lot of the toxins in your body, and it helps remove them better. I was using cranberry specifically. I was supplementing with cranberry because of something called H. pylori, that specifically to me, to help reduce the bacterial amount of it in my body. And then dandelion root, here I take the tea form, and then I was taking marshmallow root tea, and I was also doing ginger tea. So I was doing all of those things in tea form. They have it in this, which is awesome. And I use those specifically to increase my digestive stomach acid, because your digestive acid is so important. It's something that was massively important to bump back up when I took all my antibiotics. It really destroyed my gut flora and the good bacteria in my gut, and that reduced my stomach acid, which made it hard for me to break down foods, and I was getting a lot of GERD and things like that. So it was really important for me to build that back up, and those are the things that I've been using to do that, and it's been really helping me over my time. You know, a lot of people, what they do is they go and they take Nexium and they go on acid suppressors when they don't have enough stomach acid and they're getting like acid reflux. But a lot of times it's that they don't have enough stomach acid, and that's why the food is fermenting in their gut. So I was just really pleased to see all of that in there, and you know, specifically, like I look at the marshmallow root as well. It's been wonderful at coating my stomach to just really have a good quality, healthy stomach lining. And then when I moved into the gentle sculpting blend, I was really happy to see slippery elm. I think I have some slippery elm in here. So I used slippery elm in my early days, just for, like I said, my GERD, my acid reflux and my heartburn and GERD. And basically it helped coat my esophagus to protect it from, like I said, I needed to build my stomach acid back up. And until I did that, it was very helpful in protecting my esophagus from any acid reflux I was getting. And then the senna, it basically, so just to be honest with you, it basically, I was using it to stimulate bowel movements. So that was in my early days, and then once it kind of came together, it's just cool to see it in here. The milk thistle extract is fantastic. It's a great liver support. When I was going through the early phases of getting my health back, I mean, I was detoxing pretty hard, and my body, your body does all the detox stuff. So like when you hear the word detox, like there's not really a way to do that. Your body does that. Okay, and what we put in can support that process. It can support lymphatic flow and help support the liver, which is your most important detoxification system. Okay, so that's really why I like that. And then aloe vera root. I actually put aloe vera in my smoothies. So I buy the aloe vera leaf and I just cut it up and I put it in my smoothies. It's great for stomach lining and just keeping everything happy. Okay, so that's that one. And then prebiotic and probiotic and enzyme blend is also really important. So like here's an example of the prebiotics I use, or the probiotics I use, the enzymes I use, as well as here's an example of prebiotics, okay, the psyllium husk. And I found when I went through my gut health stuff, like I was really having trouble breaking down foods. I also didn't have a whole lot of gut bacteria, so I needed to replenish that with good quality probiotics as well as prebiotics. A lot of people don't really understand the difference between the two, but the prebiotics are kind of like the grass seed for the probiotics. So it's what they eat on, right? So like the artichoke inulin, that's what that is. So it's prebiotics to feed the good gut bacteria, and the psyllium husk is the same thing. Okay, and then the enzyme blend, it just helps people break down food better. I know I was struggling, but I also know that as people get older, they struggle to break down food as much. So enzymes are really key and very helpful in breaking that down. Like I said, I take those daily as well. And then the Bacillus coagulans, 500 million of that is just basically a probiotic, and it's a great probiotic. 500 million is not a whole lot, but it's definitely it's good, because I think what I like about it the most is that particular strain is it's very resistant to stomach acids, so it survives, which is nice. So that's that one, and then I will head over to the last one here, and basically magnesium citrate and valerian root. So both of those, magnesium citrate, personally I've used it for to help with sleep, and it also helps with bowel movements as well. So deep slumber blend. So the valerian, it's been shown in many studies to help with insomnia and anxiety, and I've taken it more for just the sleep benefits as well. The hops is exactly what it sounds like. It's just like hops, like would be in beer, and but it has benefit for sleep, which is really cool. And the calcium citrate, and I always have trouble saying this, niacinamide, basically vitamin B3. It's really cool because it just basically converts tryptophan in your body, and it helps and create the pathways to support serotonin and melatonin, which they've also included in this as well, which is really cool. So that's why it probably, if you're sleeping better, probably is why. Okay, and then the stress melting blend adds to that as well. So the ashwagandha extract, which is probably like one of my top 5 favorite adaptogenic herbs, and the L-theanine, I was getting that from green tea, which green tea actually makes me kind of tired, but it's because of the L-theanine in there, and the lemon balm extract and the passion flower, same deal. You can get them in tea form, or you can just use this product, right? And then they also include the trace minerals and some calcium and magnesium there, and it's just a great round. These are just fantastically well-rounded, and that's what made me be like, wow, this is awesome. And personally, from here, me and my wife both have felt less bloated. Her personally, she said she felt less bloated. It definitely helps calm me down at night, and I've noticed I'm sleeping better, and definitely less on edge throughout the day, because I'm a pretty busy guy. But as you can see, I mean, here's magnesium citrate, here's B12, here's ashwagandha that I was taking, here's charcoal I was taking, right? Psyllium husk, all the teas, like greens powder, okay, slippery elm, like all of these things, guys. This is way more than the price point. That's the thing. Like, this is way more than the price point of this. Like, way more. Okay? There's definitely hundreds of dollars worth of supplements on here compared to this, which I thought was extremely, extremely reasonable for what they offer and what it's giving to you health-wise. Now, with any supplement, I'm a big believer, and I always will say this, it's always about real food. Always. It's always got to be about real food. And real food and good quality sleep and stress reduction and overall health improvements in your life are supplemented and improved with these things. Okay? And these things can just be a very helpful player. I know they've been for me and my wife and some of my members. So it's something where it's just part of the process. It's part of the pieces of the puzzle that we put together. Okay, so I really hope this helps. I hope that wasn't too long. I hope this was informative for you, seeing and hearing my story and how I've used these particular supplements in the past on their own, as well as how cool it was to see them in these two things. And yeah, I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, you can obviously comment below and tag me, and I'd be glad to see if I can answer them or help you in any way. One thing I can't do, I can never give medical advice because I am not a doctor. Okay, but that's something that you definitely want to always talk to your doctor whenever you're trying new supplements or anything like that. So yeah, that's it. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day and keep being epic.